Our First Looks coverage is proudly powered by the Microsoft Store. Get your next laptop, tablet, Xbox, and more by going to firstlooks.tv/Microsoft.
So our next interview is here. Hi.
Hi. I'm Jacob Rogers from Florida Polytechnic University. I'm here to talk about combat robotics. It's something new here, new at Poly, and I'm trying to bring back combat robotics on a high school / collegiate level for it's not been a thing for about 10 years or so, and I'm trying to pick it up. I applied to be the state representative for the NRL. If you don't know what combat robotics is, it's 2 robots enter an arena. You get 3 minutes, and either you knock someone out or you win by judge's decision. That's based on like damage and aggression and all that. So
the connection that most people will have with this concept would be BattleBots.
Yeah, BattleBots is a big thing. I got to go out to LA last year and in April and go film for that. So I was on Team Ultimo Destructo. Got lots of great experience out there, and I've been building for about 2.5 years. I built with my dad. The one thing was there was no good structure to it. So bringing back the NRL, if you go to like gonrl.org, you can find all the information on there. And I'm trying to turn it into a nice organized league, just like VEX or FRC or FTC, anything like that. And the great thing about it is you don't have to like. There's not as many rules. It's kind of open. You can build pretty much anything you want.
Sure.
These are going to be 15-pound robots, and we're hoping to hold an event in at Poly and sometime in March. We're going to try to work around the first schedule and all that, so that there's no conflicts. So we're inviting UCF.
Everybody
USF.
will appreciate that.
Yeah, exactly. We're trying to help accommodate that. So, this is really going to be a mixture. We're going to have, we could possibly have middle school students fighting college students. So it's going to be, because it's going to be the first year, we can't have, all these different groups. And I know some middle schoolers that could kick some college student butt. So it should be a lot of fun. We'll try to get the whole thing on YouTube or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll if people go on GoNRL, they'll get a good idea for it. They can email me at my email. It's jrogers, ROGERS 5686 at floridapoly.edu, and I'll respond. I'll answer any questions you've got. We'll try to keep everyone updated. It should be an awesome event. We had one last year. I had trouble getting the word out, so it was kind of small, but it was open to everyone.
And that was at Florida Poly.
And that was at Florida Poly. We have it in our awesome building and everything. So
bookless library.
Yeah, and the bookless library. Yeah. So it should be a lot of fun. We fought in an 8x8x4 arena last year. It's all bulletproof. It's a big box. And we're hoping to get a 16x16x8 this year. So it's going to be all 15-pounders. It should be a double elimination tournament, so each team gets a minimum of 2 tries to fight. There's no real kit that you have to use.
Assuming they survive the first one.
Assuming you survive the first one, yeah. Rebuilding is one of the biggest parts about it. There's not a lot of programming involved. It's all RC. Autonomy is allowed. There's no autonomous portion.
Okay.
So if you can make it work, you can use whatever parts you want,
Sure.
Whatever type of programming you want. So
you're not required to 100% be at the controls.
You're not required to. Most people are, though.
You will.
Most people are always at the controls. They're very hard to drive. They're very fast. Some robots are 20 miles an hour plus, and these things can throw each other against the ceiling. It's a lot of fun, a lot of chaos.
What is the big difference between combat and BattleBots?
So the big difference between combat and BattleBots technically, it's like saying the difference between football and the NFL.
Okay.
Football is a sport, kids play football and all that. BattleBots technically is, there's copyright and all that.
Yeah, it's like
so
the big guys.
Yeah.
It is.
So we're not.
It
we're
is
not,
a league of combat robotics.
Yeah, it's
with
a
a
show,
brand and a thing.
It's got a
around
brand.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're not BattleBots.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, just to make that very clear,
Right.
you know, so we don't, you know, don't go infringe any
The
copyright.
machines are significantly smaller.
Yes.
for
BattleBots is
one.
250. We're 15 pounds. It's just to make it a lot easier for us to.
A little bit of a difference.
Yeah, a little bit of a difference. They're still a good like 2 feet by 1 feet or by like 8 inches or so.
Oh, wow.
So they're decent size.
Significantly bigger than I would have expected.
Yeah, and then the 250s are huge. Like some of them are 6 feet long and like these
Oh, wow.
huge machines. And
Yeah.
they have, you know, rockets or whatever on them. You know, crazy stuff. So
Flamethrowers. And
yeah, it's fantastic stuff. I have a
Saws.
15-pounder with a flamethrower. It shoots a 4-foot flame, so
Yes.
should be a lot of fun. And
Wow.
and flamethrowers will be allowed. So that's one thing at our event at least.
What
I
kind
don't
of
know.
limitations does combat have?
So combat, we've got a few things that you're not allowed to do. Basically, we don't want a boring fight. We don't want a fight where people are going to be stuck with. You know, we don't want someone to throw a net on someone and they could just get stuck instantly. You know, that would be
Okay.
boring. No EMPs, so no killing the other robot right away. No liquids, because that can short out a robot. So anything that would, like, stop a fight instantly like that without really making contact with another person, we're kind of, you know, that's, like, outside the
Against,
rules.
yeah.
And probably things that are destructive.
Yeah, no
the-
explosives. Yeah. Some
destructive
don't.
to the arena itself.
I mean, the arena does take a bit of damage, I
Right,
will
of
say.
course.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
remember having that big case
Yeah.
on campus.
Yeah, we had a big that big arena.
Probably similar to the one that we had at Gulf Coast MakerCon a couple of years ago, where they were
Yes.
having the combat
very
robot.
similar.
And the
fights.
best place I'd say for anyone watching who's wondering is Orlando Maker Faire. It was a great event. That's a lot of the same people who are going to be competing there are going to be at Orlando Maker Faire. You'll get a good idea for it. So, yeah. But I'm really glad to be out here today. It's a really awesome experience. Last year I tried to make it out, didn't quite make it out, but you know, coming out and seeing all this, it's great to see everyone excited about combat robotics. No, sorry, I'm so used to saying
About
combat
robotics
robotics.
in
About
general.
robotics in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, my bad.
I know in the past we've had Purple Fire. Is combat robotics under Purple Fire?
So combat robotics is also under Purple Fire. We've had a couple of tournaments. We got 3rd place last year at Orlando Maker Faire, and then over the summer we got 2nd place at another event. So we've been doing pretty good. I'm getting a lot better personally as a driver. We have 3 15-pounders that will be entering at our event and at Orlando Maker Faire, so you can get a good idea of that.
Okay.
I have about 22 students who are doing that.
and when is the Florida Poly event?
So the Florida Poly event's going to be sometime in March. So we're gonna work with. I want, like, you know, team leaders to contact me and say, like, hey, we have an event going on now, and so that we can plan, you know, ahead for all that, so that we can have we're gonna have a moving date up until, you know, after Christmas, and then we'll try to set a solid date for that, and then
Got it.
possibly have a couple BattleBots teams out there as well too. So to help promote the event. So
Yeah.
you know, have a lot of fun. You know, maybe sign some stuff. So
Sure.
yeah, it's going to be fantastic.
Okay. What is the... Because obviously this is kind of new to the show. We haven't interacted with a whole lot of the combat robotics, save for the one interview we did at Gulf Coast MakerCon 3 or 4 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what's the cost look like on something like this?
So typically, for a 250-pound robot, you're looking in the cost range of like somewhere between like $10,000 to $65,000. They can get crazy expensive, but that's the reason why we're going with 15-pounders, is because I know I built my own personal first 15-pounder out of a pair of cordless drills and some RC equipment. I did it for under $300.
Okay.
So we're talking.
What materials you already had?
Actually, no, those were all
Okay, so
materials I bought.
okay.
So, like, a lot of stuff I just found, like, on Amazon or whatever. There's this UHMW material that's like a really strong plastic, and it works just like wood. It
And
was
you just
super easy.
repurposed it.
Yeah, and I built this all in my garage with my dad. I had no experience prior to robotics, and I was trying to get an FRC, FTC. There was no.
How long ago was this?
This was about 2-3 years ago,
Okay.
and there was no team at my school. So, and they said it would take a while to establish a team, because it's you know, it's a big deal.
It's a process.
Yeah, it's a process, and it's, you know, super rewarding. And I wanted to be part of something, so I decided, I went on YouTube, looked up videos how to do this on my own. So it kind of like, it was really out of nowhere, and I had a great group. Renaissance Jacks helped me out. They're a big part, and you know, you guys first has that event up there. So
Yes, indeed.
that was.
What year student are you at Poly?
So I'm a sophomore student at Poly. I decided to go to Poly because I liked the atmosphere, the engineering atmosphere, and all that. And it's great to be down here.
And your field of study?
And my field of study right now is mechanical engineering. I'm considering moving over to supply chain management, but yeah. So I love what I do.
Did you start combat robotics in your freshman year?
So yeah, I started combat robotics at Poly my freshman year.
So you just jumped right into it?
Yeah, I was in a room full of like 23 people who were ready for fire and destruction and all that, and I was a freshman and I never really led anything on my own.
Because there's been a lot of talk about yes, we want to do like combat robotics, we want to do like battle bots,
and
but not battle bots.
We are attempting battle bots though. I'm speaking with President Avent on Monday, having a meeting with him. We'll see how that goes.
That's awesome. Good luck.
Yeah, hopefully that goes well. So
Dr. Avent is our president for our university, in case anyone was curious.
Wow.
So
all right.
Yeah, making moves.
That's awesome.
I looked into BattleBots in its first incarnation
back in like Comedy Central
days.
When
it was on Comedy Central.
Yeah. That's how I got into it, watching with my dad when I was like 2. I got to meet a lot of the guys that I used to watch as a kid, and now I had a friend of mine out there. He also does he does a lot of he did like high school robotics as well.
Okay.
And his name's Matthew Vasquez, and he was out there with Whiplash this year. They're doing great so far. Can't say how they do, obviously, but.
So you've always been passionate about this.
Yeah. I've been really passionate, and there's kind of a new wave of combat robotics guys. It was weird. There was like a big gap because of the time it was off the air.
Yep.
So just trying to get back in the groove of things, and this will be kind of a feeder program, possibly for that. And then it's just great skills because like some of the fabrication it's a bit more intense than FIRST, but FIRST has the programming aspect. So if you do both, then it makes you really well-rounded as an engineer. So both are very important for the field. So really excited for both of these events, and the more robots the better.
And yours has that added bonus of possibly helping us get some aggression out.
Yeah. So I feel like
that we build up trying to put these together.
Yeah. And I will say, you get a little bit of that aggression, but it's a really fantastic community. There's people like I handed one guy a part that fixed his robot to then fight me one time.
Gracious professionalism.
So gracious professionalism.
Yeah.
It helps build up that as well. So it's a really great community. I mean, you could tear someone's robots to pieces and then walk over, help them rebuild it, and you're all friends afterwards.
That's
we all go out
awesome.
and get some food and eat
That's
together.
awesome.
So
I like that.
It's fantastic.
It's good to hear that that's not just a FIRST thing, that's a robotics
thing
in general.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
We talk about that a lot. Like, it's not a common scenario to see like a football player sacrifice their on-field performance to go help their competitor get better. But in robotics and engineering stuff, like
they just want to make engineering better.
If I'm going to beat you, I want to beat you at your best.
Yes,
exactly. That's the best part about it.
Yeah. So you want your design going against their design and your idea going against their idea, and really seeing that. And when those little technical problems get in the way, you like to help them out and, make sure you're both operating at 100%.
Yeah.
So,
definitely.
Yeah.
Because if I don't beat you at your best, I don't
care
What's
about
the
win.
Yeah, I don't care about
point?
the win. Yeah, I'd rather, I'd rather beat someone at their best than not fight them at all. So, I'll make that sacrifice any day. So.
When is the competition in Orlando?
Competition in Orlando is during the Orlando Maker Faire event. It's November 10th.
Okay, so that one's before the Poly one.
So that's going to be a good bit before the Poly one. That's not going to be an NRL event. Again, the NRL's kind of been absent from the state. I'm trying to bring it back. It's been a bit of a process, a bit of an uphill climb, and it's so fantastic to see all the opportunities that have come my way through doing this, and in the way of that have come the way of anyone who's I've surrounded myself with. So many opportunities for this, and it's a growing sport, and it's a great opportunity for universities, tech universities, to get in there. If they're not big at football, if they're not big on regular sports, to get a chance to compete.
I was gonna say, so
perfect for Poly.
An engineering school
Yeah.
Probably never going to have an award-winning football team, is what you're saying?
No,
We have an ultimate frisbee team.
I believe you.
Maybe we get a frisbee playing robot or something.
Yeah.
5 years ago, the first robotics competition team game
Had frisbees?
was frisbees.
Yes.
Awesome.
I
I
think it was
have a
fun.
frisbee
I think it
from
was
that,
5.
even though I wasn't a part of the game at all.
I do too.
Yeah.
I got to Roboticon that year, and I'm like, hey, can somebody explain the game? Because I haven't been around FRC for like 16 years. Can somebody explain the game to me?
I have
Yeah.
no idea how I got the frisbee, but I have one.
Terry had a box of them, and at our picnic at her house one time, she started handing them out.
Oh, okay.
I know
That makes
exactly
sense.
how you got
That's
it, because
probably
it's
how
how
I
I
got
got it too.
But yeah. So with all the build up for all these like fighting events and stuff, like those can, obviously it's not great for your body, being in the UFC or MMA or anything like that. So this is kind of like
You
the
don't say.
robotic version of like that. You
Don't
can
hurt me.
kinda, Yeah. See,
But
I was
hurt the thing I made.
exactly. I was the kid whose like mom was like, "No, you're not going into that no matter what." And then
Oh,
I was
yeah.
"Well, I'll find a way to get into
Fetal position.
combat sports." So
It's Avatar MMA.
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah.
You're doing MMA indirectly.
Yeah, indirectly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Through the robots. So with all the hype for like combat sports in general, and then with robotics growing as well, it's kind of like the perfect time for to start something for high schools and middle
Yeah, for
schools
sure.
and stuff. It's going great up north. I know Pennsylvania, and I think Pennsylvania is the world championship for combat robotics, but it's pretty much just isolated to up there. So I'm trying to make it grow and spread. So it should be a really great opportunity for students to meet a lot of other young builders and to get that opportunity to make that like camaraderie and tear each other's robots apart and help them fix them, and it's a lot of fun, and it's
sure.
fantastic
Sounds like
to
a lot of
watch
fun.
too.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to watch. It's
Yeah.
definitely a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, it's almost more of a spectator sport because it's like the spectators have as much fun or more than the actual
Yeah.
builders, because we're sitting there going, "Oh wow, I'm gonna have to fix that gearbox."
Yeah, and the spectators are like, "Yeah, destroy
Oh
it."
yeah, kill it.
And-
oh my God, that is a table saw.
yeah. And what's
Use it.
Do it.
Use it.
what's so interesting is like it's really it's like a process of rapid evolution. Like it's like animals evolved to become dominant over other animals, and it's like this is like machines evolving to become
Constantly.
top of the constantly. Like we're talking like every other event you'll see somebody's robot change. And there's a like a meta shift like in video games sometimes, and then you've got so it's like rapid evolution. People can look at it and say it's just violence, when in reality it's like we're figuring out how to make stuff not break.
Yeah,
That is
it's
such a
more
big
problem
thing.
solving.
Yeah,
For everybody who has ever dropped their phone and it has shattered into 1,000 pieces, we're literally working on engineering on how to not break things.
yeah.
You're welcome.
Exactly. So that's the biggest thing.
If people want more information about what you're up to, how can they do it?
And how to
So-
get involved with combat robotics and possibly go against you. That too.
Okay. So if you want more information, go NRL.org. GONRL.org. If you check out that website, you'll see plenty of information on there. There's a Florida Combat Robot Builders group on Facebook you can join as well. Ask any number of questions. You can contact me, J Rogers, JROGERS 5686 at floridapoly.edu, and that's my personal, that's my student email, and you can contact me directly that way. And then if you just like to meet me in person or work on or see an event yourself, you can go to Maker Faire Orlando in November. So November 10th. November 10th. So you can go online and check that out. And then Builders Database is where you can check out all of the events that are happening worldwide, because it's all over the world. It's fantastic.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, thanks so much for coming and talking
Thank
to
you
us
very
today.
much. I had a great
Hopefully
time.
you'll continue to have fun here at the event,
Of
and
course.
your next 2 events will be successes.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Have a good one.